some Viking music, don't it?
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick it again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Shooting, lights out.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, as we stream exclusively on YouTube today, one of maybe two shows this week, because I don't know, maybe I might do a show Friday. I don't know, because it is the final week for the men, and we're going to dive into a lot of key games this weekend I can do on Friday, so I might do a special show Friday. I don't know, but nevertheless, I am here. The Playmaker is here, and I got to give you the basketball because today, Champ Week has officially started for some of the lower conferences on the men's side, and most of the women's have started. So it's time to start punching tickets to the NCAA tournament. It's time to get automatic bids up out the way. So I had to do a show Wednesday, but I'm not alone today. I got a man here with me who couldn't join me last week. And he was so disappointed that he couldn't join me last week because he had something on the tip of his tongue that he was ready to let loose. He might let it loose today. Depends on how the show flows. Ladies and gentlemen, the EP of all EPs. He is the co-host of Total Football Talk. He is the man behind Common Media Sports. He does all types of stuff. He might be adding another show to the repertoire. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, Cole Johnson.
How you doing, Playmaker?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. It's good to be back on the platform once again. And I did miss coming on here Friday and giving him a piece of my mind.
Yeah, I know you really wanted to give you one too. You were ready.
Oh yes, I was.
You might get a chance to redeem yourself.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
So,
yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, you know how I like to start off my show. I got some news and notes, so we got to go around the hardwood. And to begin around the hardwood, Jalen Brunson, another New York Knickerbocker, suffers an injury. And the injuries just keep piling, Cole Johnson, for the New York Knicks.
This one, though, hurts. I mean, look, we all know Julius Randle. It actually was a beneficial thing for him to be out the lineup. Jalen, though, that stings because that's the spark plug and the leader of the show. And as he goes, so go the Knicks. And I hate seeing this. Man.
So the Knicks fall to the Atlanta Hawks as they continue to slide down and they continue to get injuries. We shall see if they can get healthy and right the ship in time before the end of March, because you only got maybe 18 games left.
That's about right. So,
but when we talk more NBA, I'll show you the standings. So that's number one. Sticking to the NBA. Note number two, they believe the injection that they put in Donovan Mitchell's knee will help get his knee back to full strength, even though he's still going to miss the next 2 games for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Coach Johnson.
Donovan Mitchell, he's still in the league. I'm proud of him. No, let me stop. The Cavs need him. They're too young to really operate without him the long run. So they need to have his presence on the court. And this is a good thing. Hopefully he can get to full strength without needing injections soon. But I'm glad that there's some mitigating factor that can put him back on the court sooner rather than later.
Don't worry, we're going to have more news to talk about when it comes to Cleveland because they did something
Oh, yeah.
I didn't expect them to do.
I don't think anyone did.
We'll dive into that a little later. All right, next on the list, still in the NBA. I had to do it. I had to. So Zion Williamson says he will only do the dunk contest if he makes the All-Star. No, I'm just gonna ahead and give Cole Johnson the camera.
Zion. Come on, son. So you will only be in the slam dunk competition if you make the All-Star. If you make the All-Star team. Well, let's understand something. When, because I only know you had only 1 year of college, so I'm going to break it down so you can understand it, sir. When people say make an All-Star roster, like you or anybody else, it means not on the number one wall of baby daddies of all time. It means the basketball play on the court would dictate to people actually voting for you to be on the court during the most boring game of the year. The All-Star game. But you should want to be in the slam dunk competition because you should yawn your way to victory. You got a G Leaguer winning the dang thing, and you don't want to. Let me make this PG. You got a G Leaguer going back to back, and you don't sniff the opportunity to just simply rule over the slam dunk competition because let me see if I can put it in a nice way. Your balls hurt because you can't fathom in your brain to put together, I don't know, 20 and 10 games before the All-Star break. Just give us 20 of that, and you would probably be on the All-Star team. But no, you don't want to do that. You're too busy wanting to feel like you're Zion and giving us good effort one day and not really giving a crap the next. And then on the third night, want to dip your matchstick into somebody's juice box. Come on, son. You're not in high school anymore, and you're not at Duke. You're a grown man. Start acting like one. Sucker.
Now you know why I did what I did. Because I knew he would be the one to actually go off. Zion, yeah, what Cole said, if you can make it that far through the season, they can be an All-Star. Good.
Just give us 20, 10, and 20. Just give us 20 games so you score 20 and pull on 10 boards. That should guarantee you an All-Star slot right there. Come on, man. Please. Just give us that.
In other news, the Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics are set to play 2 preseason games next year in Abu Dhabi.
Money, 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 money.
Mm-hmm.
Money. That's what that is.
That's a vacation for the Nuggets and the Celtics.
It is. But you know the NBA is out there because they want to get that cash.
Cash. Have fun in Abu Dhabi next October.
Yeah.
That should be fun. Speaking of which, y'all should be seeing each other quite soon. If I
I was
remember
about to say, you might see each other 4 months before. So, hey, let's see.
So let's see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, college. This one, oof, boy. Third March, whose players voted to join local union. This here is a very tricky but enormous thing.
Slippery slope.
It is very tricky because so many factors go into this. Because if I recall, if there's a union correctly, it's for people that are like actually working, like employed, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing it in college, how does that work? Because you're talking, first of all, just because you play college basketball and you can get NIL deal doesn't mean you're gonna keep it because there's a certain thing called let me think. Can't think of it right now. What's the word I'm getting? Oh, education. That factors into that.
But this is how they're thinking. Hey, Dartmouth, baby, I got your money. Don't you worry. Say hey, baby, I got your money. That's what they're thinking.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, and Hawk TV's in the building. What's up, Hawk TV?
What's up, Hall TV?
But if I remember
Good to see you,
correctly,
brother. Mm-hmm.
it's student athlete.
See, okay, you have it right, sir. And it's been drilled in our brains forever that student comes before athlete. But when you're talking about an entity that just makes money hand over fist, you have to almost laugh at it and say, you believe that student athlete crap until you get the whole wad of money that you pocket. And yes, I'm looking at you, Indianapolis. And then you have to say, well, is it straight student athlete or is it you trying to make as much money as the NBA?
Fair point. Hawk TV, all is great, brother. It's one of the best times of the year when the calendar turned March, so you know what's coming.
Yep. Next 4 months.
But look, I get it. Players should be compensated for some reason or another.
Mm-hmm.
They should be compensated, but
I mean, if the school's making money, they should be compensated. Yes.
but let me go to a point that Mr. Johnson himself made a while ago. And I mean, I'm talking when we was doing football. This is why NCAA people was telling you need to hurry and do something about the NIL.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna get out of control.
Like Mr. Cole,
like
you know what? I'm gonna read that Cole Johnson for you. The NCAA has no balls.
They don't. Word. They don't. They still don't.
Because when this is starting to come thing, y'all just think because it's a small college that people ain't gonna pay attention.
Right.
That's because Dartmouth's a small college don't mean people ain't finna pay. Do you realize what they just did? They just did something historic.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can go Chinese proverb with this. This basically is the quintessential, just put an analogy. This is the quintessential step of someone dropping a pebble in water. And now you're starting to see the ring form right after the rock goes into the water. And you know what happens over time when you drop a rock and when you drop a pebble into water? You have the ripple effects happen. So yeah, they can say, well, yeah, this is a small college, but you make a wonderful point, Playmaker. The big boys will see that, and the big boys want to emulate what this small school is doing at some point in time. And if the NCAA doesn't gather enough balls to stop it, they can't stop it.
NCAA, y'all slipping, and y'all don't think y'all really paying attention or how deep y'all in right now. Y'all better figure it out sooner. So somebody in that darn building got to have a brain. All of them can't be brainless. Somebody in there got to have a brain. Anyway, final one for Around the Hardwood. Shaka Smart is expecting his best player, Carlet, to be available this season, despite the knee injury he suffered, which they are going to need because you better go in the Big East tournament play some point next week. And yeah, somebody going to have to challenge UConn in the Big East.
You think this will be Marquette?
Well, they're the second best team in the Big East, so it might as well be. I'm pretty sure UConn ain't gonna let what you call a Creighton shoot like that ever again.
That's what I'm saying. They may not want to see Creighton because they probably fear that they'd be 14-28 from three again.
They ain't gonna let that happen. Not UConn. I know UConn like I know UConn. Shoot, they're gonna be the opposite. They're gonna be 2 for 40 next time UConn see them again. They gonna make sure y'all ain't gonna shoot them threes no more. I do have some ladies news, but for the purpose of this show, I want to save it for the ladies because we gonna dive into the ladies real good. Shut up, Cole. That's not what I mean.
What? I didn't say anything.
I don't care. I can look at your face and knew what you was gonna go.
I did not say a single solitary.
You ain't have to say. I can see your face.
I don't know what you were referring to. I just heard you say dive, ladies, and dive, and I just let you roll.
See?
That's all I did. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't.
See?
No clue. No clue.
That's it, Hardwood. See, this is what I deal with this man. See? This is what I deal with. Thank goodness Cool ain't here because he would be in the chat laughing his butt off right now. Put that picture up there.
Oh, Lord.
I don't have time for that right now.
I didn't say a single solitary word, Playmaker.
You ain't have to say a word. I know you. Well, for those of you who don't really understand Cole know how to take shuttle shots without even saying a word. He can do simple stuff like change the background.
That felt good.
Anyway, we're going to jump in. We're going to talk men's basketball before we go to our first break. All right. So this happened Monday night. Duke, had a big second half to survive and rally North Carolina over the Wolfpack. And then Baylor on senior night.
Good job, Baylor.
For a minute, people of Waco, Texas was thinking, this might not be a good senior night as they saw the Longhorns have a 14-point lead. And then Baylor came storming back to salvage senior night down in Waco, Texas.
Good job, Baylor.
That was Monday. Yesterday, stacked lineup. The Gators dominated Bama.
See, now what did I tell you earlier? Last month. I told you.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Okay, hold that thought. Okay. Florida dominated Bama down in the O-Dome. Or you want to call it Wisconsin, whichever one fits you better. Doesn't matter. Purdue survived in Champaign.
Purdue's struggling, though.
Purdue survived. Kansas do what they always do to Kansas State in Allen Fieldhouse.
Whoop 'em.
And then we did have an upset, ladies and gentlemen. UNLV shocked the 21st ranked San Diego State. The Rebels.
This isn't the Rebels from 35 years ago. What's wrong?
They pulled it off. So now, Mr. Cole Johnson, because I had a feeling when you saw the score, I knew you was going to want to talk.
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, I'm glad that you put that up because this is the problem with basketball today, men's basketball today. You see, we have entered a world where defense is optional. Defense is optional. Or in this case, defense takes a vacation.
I think they differ on that because I actually
you
watched the game.
beg to differ.
I actually watched part of the game.
I know you watched part of the game, but you beg to differ. One team scores 52.5, the other scores 61. But you beg to differ that defense took a vacation.
We did get to the free throw line 46 times.
I rest my case. You beg to differ.
Nobody shot well from three. Both teams shot close to 45% from the field.
Well, that's fine.
It's just We got to the line 46 times.
That's fine. Hey, that's what you're supposed to do. The more aggressive team gets to the line more often,
And
and
we
that's
and we
cool.
actually had 10 steals, which led to 27 fast break points.
But see, but see, that's the first half.
No, second half too.
Mm-hmm. All right, but
It was second half too.
They still allow 52 points in a
And well,
half.
okay, guess what? When you're forced to shoot threes
But
to
they
try
only
to
made
catch,
but they only made 5 of them.
yeah, that was probably only made 5 of them.
So I'm like, jeez. They only made 5 threes, yet they still scored 52 in the second half.
Hey, they was getting off of some. You see the rebound? It's 40-40.
I do.
It's a
I
lot of
see.
missed, a lot of second chances.
Mm-hmm.
Good positioning in the paint.
Good positioning. No, but all seriousness though, I told you the tide was gonna come to your crib, and your boy's gonna handle business. And look at what happened. A
Yeah,
double-digit victory.
that's after they squandered a 10-point lead to South Carolina.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay. I mean, Florida's not the. I'm sorry to say this to you, sir, but I have to come to terms with the same thing about Texas. Florida is not the greatest team in the world, or
I
at least
ain't
the
said it
college
was.
world.
I ain't
But
said it was, but if
see,
you good enough to get a double-digit lead, darn it, keep it.
that's what I'm saying. But well, there you go. They got a double-digit lead and grew it against a ranked opponent. Well, against a higher ranked opponent. Let me put it that way, because I know South Carolina's ranked too, but against a higher ranked opponent.
I just need y'all to. Can y'all just keep a lead? That's all I ask. Just keep a lead.
Well, what they're saying, Playmaker, here you go. We kept the lead and grew it.
You ain't keep it against South Carolina. And if you'd have kept it against South Carolina, you would be in a better position to have a double bye going in the conference tournament. Like,
Well, I guess they just have to find a way in the tournament.
I mean, come on. You win every time you rank, you end up losing. Like, I don't understand. You were ranked against South Carolina. You had a double digit lead and you blew it. Then you come unranked and you do that to Alabama.
I guess they just can't handle prosperity. Oh Lord, I said another Stephen A. line. I'm sorry. I guess they're allergic to prosperity.
I mean, like, come on. Yeah, y'all can play. I see what you did. Look what you did to Auburn. Jeez. You smacked them before the opening tip off. I'm just saying, just keep the lead. That's all. That's all I need you to do. Keep a lead. That's it. Because when you can't keep the lead, when it comes to tournament time, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get that excitement of March Madness.
And you're going to go home.
And I don't want to go home right now.
One shining moment will not be what you'll feel. One shining moment is going back to Gainesville.
At least make it to the Sweet 16, then I'll feel good. Sweet 16. Sweet 16. Okay? Is that too much to ask? Sweet 16. You just got to win 2 tournaments. 2 tournament games. We should be both in 1 week. Just win 2 games in 1 week. That's all you got to do.
Well, but you have the SEC tournament next week, so you'll get a chance to get a feel for if this team is tournament ready.
I guess. Inconsistency is not my name. You know how I feel about inconsistency.
Oh, I understand. I fully understand it. It does suck, but at least you know this team can beat ranked opponents. So you don't have the issue there. They have the ability to play down possibly to competition that they perceive to be as lower than they are.
Yeah. Well, all right. So I didn't get I don't have the updated bracketology from Joe Lenardi, but from what I'm looking at on ESPN, your last 4 buys are Colorado State, Florida Atlantic, Villanova, and TCU. Your last four in, as of right now, are Seton Hall, New Mexico, Virginia, surprisingly, and Wake Forest, despite Wake Forest losing to Georgia Tech out of all teams.
Well, Wake Forest can thank Duke for wetting the bed in Winston-Salem.
First four out, Rick Pitino and St. John's, Utah, Providence, and Iowa. Next four out is Colorado, Pittsburgh, Drake, and Memphis.
Come on, Penny. Get your team in there, baby.
I don't know what's going on with Penny. I have no idea what's going on with Penny.
And he's recruiting a lot of talent. I don't know why they are now mired in mediocrity.
I have no idea. This is like Penny. We need you to get it together. All right. Like before Deion Sanders was the coach at Colorado, it was you. Like we need you to bring that magic back, son, because I haven't heard of Mentor since your second year there.
But I can tell you though, this area here, they are happy that the Volunteers are, at least if the season were to end today, they'd be considered one of the 4 number 1 seeds. So they're real happy about that. Now I don't think it will last because I think they'll be upended at some point in the tournament. But they are happy that Tennessee is would be one of the number 1 seeds in the upcoming tournament. Should it end today?
No, if it were to end today, that would be Purdue, UConn, Houston, and Arizona. According to Lenardi.
Well, forget Lenardi.
And Tennessee would probably be a 2 seed, if I'm not mistaken. I see Marquette on the 2 line, North Carolina on the 2 line, Iowa State on the 2 line. Like, who saw that coming?
Nobody. Nobody.
Look. Iowa State. Yep, Tennessee is currently on the 2 line.
That's what I'm saying. Well, they on the number. They should be on number 1 line. Because I'm looking at the AP top 25 in the coaches poll. They both have them at 4. So so to me, that's the number 1 line.
I mean, Houston's the overall number 1.
Well, yeah.
Then they again, according
but they might find a way to lose a game. They shouldn't. Yeah.
But then again, you have to realize the people who makes the tournament brackets are not the ones who go by the AP polls necessarily.
They need to stop smoking some crap. They need to start getting perspective.
Because even though Houston's the number 1 team in the AP polls, the overall number 1 would be Purdue.
Well, see, then to borrow the rod, they need to stop living in Phoenix.
They have UConn be the 2nd number 2, Houston be the 3rd, and then Arizona the 4th number 1. I don't know. And that's what I'm looking at.
They lying.
We'll see. You know,
I know it's not over. I know it's not over. This is the last week of the regular season. I know. And next week is tournament time, so I get it. So right now, Houston has to concern themselves with basically winning the Big 12 outright and winning the Big 12 Big 12 tournament championship.
And that might have to be dominant because if they on the same resume with Purdue, I think Purdue's going to get the nod. Oh, Houston.
But Purdue has looked weaker, I'll put it that way, in February than they did January. January, they looked really good because they were consistent, but they haven't looked as good to me.
Yeah, you said February.
But they still are worthy of a number one seed though.
You gotta remember they just went to number 13 and beat them in their own building.
Well, but that's good. That's all. That's wonderful.
And now, unfortunately, Houston's schedule, I think their last game was against UCF.
Yeah.
Like, really?
And then before that, they eked out a win in Oklahoma. I mean, I understand that. I do understand, but they still have a W, but they eked it out against Oklahoma. I understand that.
Just saying.
But if those fools are going to ignore, many coaches and many writers, most of the writers and most of the coaches basically saying that the number 1 overall ranked team is the Cougs.
But I'm saying right now, the way Joe Lenardi got it, he might be doing Houston a favor. Because if they the third number one seed, they playing in Dallas. They ain't Dallas region. That's home field. Home court. But if they the number one overall, they gonna be in the Indianapolis Midwest region, which is Detroit.
Which so more than likely they'd put Purdue in the Midwest region. They'd put Houston in the South region. Okay,
Yeah.
Got it. Did it have to be Dallas though? Dallas is one of the worst cities in the world. I'm sorry, my bad. I shouldn't be that biased.
That's the region. So for those of you who want to know, so the four regions are the Midwest region would be in Detroit, the East region would be in Boston,
So that's UConn.
the South region is in Dallas,
Eh,
and the West region is in, of course, you can probably guess what city that's in. Like it's like the most popular city on the West side,
LA.
LA.
So more than likely, yes, I see why Arizona will be put there. But doggone it, put them four.
No, that's the fourth region.
I know that's the fourth region. I'm saying put Arizona ranked number 4.
Yeah. We'll see. This is where things are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But
all right.
South region has to be in Dallas. Busted.
Yep, South region in Dallas. So we're gonna take our first break.
Be a better city like Houston. I'm sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
We're gonna take our first break. When we come back, we're gonna talk to BA.
Welcome to Ringside Chaos, the professional wrestling discussion segment of the Bear of Texas podcast. The only professional wrestling podcast in the world where pro wrestling is discussed passionately, with confidence, with great knowledge, and most of all, in the most sophisticated way. So brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because chaos is about to be unleashed. Thing with Tony Khan now being in talks to buy WWE, I'm going to be honest with you. I spoke to this with Ricky Litwinkowicz, aka the Master of Mayhem, and he honestly believes that me talking about Tony Khan buying WWE is basically I'm kind of wasting my time because Ricky believes it's never going to happen. Okay, now don't get me wrong, Ricky, I respect what he says. He could very well be correct, but I got to be honest with you. The fact that Khan is interested in supposedly buying WWE, to me, that's definitely worth talking about. Now, I should mention this. Shout out to Ricky, by the way. And I got to mention this, that even Jim Cornette already had something to say. And he said, and I quote, "Ridiculous to think that could happen," unquote. He's a wrestling fan that's been super supportive of Brody Lee as a wrestler and everything that WWE could have done with him and, everything that he could have shown and, offered for the wrestling business. For me, I wasn't just a fan of Brody Lee himself, like in character. I strongly respected him, as a human being. Like, I had a lot of respect for Jonathan Huber. That's Mr. Brody Lee's real name. So basically, I had a lot of respect for Brody Lee, Luke Harper, and of course, Mr. Jonathan Huber. Particular episode was about World Class Championship Wrestling. And the episode title is, WCCW Wrestling's Lone Star Legacy. And because I am the Bear of Texas, and I do hail from the Dallas-Fort Worth area of the state of Texas, World Class Championship Wrestling was basically my territory as far as being a wrestling fan goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Ringside Chaos is available on all streaming platforms including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
The Playmaker's Bar is proudly sponsored by Fanatics. Fanatics, the #1 shop where sports fans across the world love to get their sports gear and fandom on. A wide selection of gears from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, the NCAA, and of course, the WWE. Whether it is football, basketball, baseball, hockey, even soccer, golf, no matter what sport it is, there's sports appeal for every fan of every sport. Fanatics, where sports fans shop and officials license everything.
welcome to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting the Lights Out. Got Cole Johnson with me today.
Oh, and before we continue, I want to. I know I said a lot of slanderous things about Dallas. That it has a lot of hoes in the city, and that it runs second to Phoenix as the crackhead capital of the United States. But I really want to apologize to all Dallas and Dallas metropolitan area residents for absolutely positively nothing. And you have to understand, I have a lot of people that I love in Dallas, and they crap on Houston, so I got to crap on Dallas in return.
Going to the NBA, ladies and gentlemen.
What did I say now? Oh my gosh.
Going to the NBA. Had a couple of interesting games that took place last night. One happening in Denver, Colorado. The defending champs took an L at home to the Phoenix Suns.
It's not like the Suns are garbage. I mean, they got talent on the team. And I mean, and it will be expected that they can put forth talent like this and give you a good game and give you a W if the stars come out.
Grayson Allen. 9 for 15 from the field, 8 for 12 from three-point range, even though he hit his first eight three-pointers for 28 points.
And then there's Grayson Allen. See, Grayson Allen right now is what is wrong with the NBA as of today. This is why the NBA is garbage basketball. When you can have a basketball thug like him go off for 28 points and have 8 of 12 from 3 with 5 boards and 4 assists, he's not doing his job. His job is supposed to be doing flagrant fouls and being the cheap shot artist that he was at Duke. That is his role, not to actually play basketball.
The man get paid to put the ball in the hoop.
He gets paid to injure people.
No, he does.
Since when is he a 28, 5, and 4 guy? Like, jeez.
The man was the leading scorer when he was at Duke.
Yeah, he was also what? Rasheed Wallace in college, the leading technical foul getter.
See, Coach Johnson's not used to somebody who can do the things that Grayson Allen does, but still can actually play the game of basketball.
Well, I'm not. Look, okay. I'm aware that he could play. Obviously, he wouldn't be in the NBA. I get that. It's just that he is better suited for being a thug.
No,
than
he's
he
not.
is to actually fluidly play basketball because he's pointless in doing other stuff than being a thug.
Well, then again, where is he from?
Duke. I rest my case.
No, I said, where is he from?
Oh. Dallas.
No, he's not from Dallas.
Dang. Well, he went to school at Duke, so there you go.
Yeah, he came from the state of Florida.
Well, no wonder why you have his back. Okay. Well, okay, now barf bucket. Okay.
The man's from right here in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, see, that's why you shouldn't even open your mouth. Because you repping Duval with this guy, and yet he is a cheap shot artist.
He has. When the last time he took a cheap shot?
Doggone it.
I'm just saying, when the last time he took a cheap shot?
What was that bull that he decided to put in pinned to the backboard? Dang, I can't remember. And he got suspended for because he was a buck at the time.
Exactly, he was a buck.
But still,
Milwaukee Buck.
But still, that's his steez. Not putting 28 on 8 or 12 from 3.
He was doing that. He was in Milwaukee too. What you mean? You just don't like Grayson Allen.
Exactly. He's able to hurt a basketball player with a single push. I mean, I can't help it with this fool.
He can put up 28 points when he want to.
And he probably won't score another 28 for the rest of the week.
He probably won't, but he did it against the champs. Like, he did it in the champs building. If it wasn't for him, Kevin Durant wouldn't have had a chance to go for 35.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have won the game. Look. See, Playmaker knows. I know that. I know how the game works. I get it. You need to have play like this from role players at times, especially in games when you're on the road to actually get your W's. I mean, I'm a Rockets fan, so I rooted for a team full of role players back in '94 and '95. I get it. So yeah, Allen had a great game against a team that they needed a performance. That Suns needed a performance like this out of him to gather the W. But dude's a cheap start artist. I don't give a crap if he's from Duval I don't care if he's from Duval, Uval, or Suval. The dude is a thug.
He's not a thug, okay? He's not a thug. You can't even be a thug at Providence High School.
Well, he learned how to be a thug at Duke.
I mean,
he was no choir boy there.
He was coach on the Mike Krzyzewski, so.
That's what I'm saying. He was a choir boy in Durham.
I mean, we is talking about Coach K, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grayson Allen, the unsung hero beating the champs. Whoever would have thought?
Good job, Thug. Keep it up. And I don't mean pushing people into backboards or tripping fools when they penetrate.
Hey, if Draymond Green can calm it down, Grayson Allen.
Don't get me started on that gorilla. That fool doing triple singles needs to get on the broadcast booth and act as though he can be color guy, because his days of being an NBA player are over. Okay, all right, I get it. He'll pull a Grayson Allen. One game out of 30, he'll score 30 points. But the dude will be triple singling his way through the rest of his career until he retires. What the?
I did not see this going that far. We
don't have to move on. Look. Durant, you did a wonderful job, but you're being too much of a volume shooter, son. But that's great though. 35, they needed it. Good job.
Yeah, 8 in overtime. So
yeah.
Hold on. Before I even move on, here's my. You have Devin Booker, you have Kevin Durant, and you have Bradley Beal all on the same team.
Okay.
Phoenix, how are you the worst fourth quarter team in the entire National Basketball Association?
2011 NBA Finals. The Miami Heat, full of talent. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Nan Negra did not want to have the ball the fourth quarter. That's how it happens.
That's a slight problem with your analogy there.
What's the
a slight problem?
What's the slight problem?
At least the Heat made it to the finals.
But that's the point.
We don't even know if Phoenix going to even make it to the conference finals.
But that's the problem. They made it to the finals, but they did not complete the deal and win it.
No,
they struggled in that first year, because I think they were 9 and 8 or 8 and 9. I think 8 and 9 to begin the year. So they struggled to have chemistry, and they still really didn't have it by June. But they were talented enough to get that far. And I agree with you. I don't think the Suns are going to make it past the conference semifinals again. But it's not because of them. I think it's not even because of that stat. It's that you got the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Mavericks. And oh, by the way, you might have either between the sleepwalking Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers, who You have to wake old man River up to actually perform right. One of those teams might knock the Suns out before they even get to the conference semifinals.
I just had to ask that question because they showed me that stuff. I'm like, how y'all is the worst fourth quarter team in the entire National Basketball Association?
But you have that much talent and only one basketball to go around, but not one of them actually having the balls to say, give me the ball, get out the way.
That's how Denver got back in the game. Everybody just knew, yep, Denver gonna come back.
Yeah, and
the Suns suck in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yet again, they sucked in the fourth quarter.
Meanwhile, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Meanwhile, with the Nuggets, they all know their bread is buttered with Nikola Jokic. As great and as talented as that team is, and as wonderful as their roles are, and as much as Jokic wants everybody to contribute, when it gets to the money put period, they're like, Nikola, take us home. However you're going to take us home, take us home. If it means you got to do a 20 in the fourth quarter, fine. If it means you're going to give us 7, 8 dimes, do it. If it means it's a combination of 15 points and 10 dimes, please. However you do it, take us home. That's the difference between the Nuggets and the Suns.
Yeah, I hear you, but
You disagree with that too?
you know, things turned when Jamal Murray was out there. I'm just saying.
Oh, good Lord, man. Look, I love Jamal Murray too. He's a great, solid number 2 and can be a number 1 if Jokic is faltering, and that's very rare that he does. But you know, the best player on the Nuggets is Nikola. You know that.
I'm not saying he's not the best player on the team. I'm just saying
Right.
they stopped having first round exits. Once Jamal Murray was out,
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Well, okay. I'll give you another back down memory lane analogy. You know my team's the Rockets. And I have said this, and I'll continue to say this. My favorite player is Hakeem Olajuwon. Number 2 is anybody else you could pick in any of the 77 years the NBA has ever existed. I don't give a crap who it is. It could be Jordan. It could be Bird. It could be Magic. It could be Dr. J. It could be Grayson Allen. I don't care what player you pick. Number 2, anybody could be number 2 for as favorite player. But Olajuwon's my favorite. They got eliminated in the conference semifinals in 1987 to the Sonics. 1988, first round exit. 89, first round exit. 90, first round exit. 91, first round exit. 92, they didn't even make the playoffs. And why was that? Because Olajuwon was giving fools 40, 45, and 50. Meanwhile, the next highest scorer was possibly maybe 10, 11, 12. That is what happened with Nikola. He was balling, but no one else wanted to come along with him, including Mr. Murray. And that was the year before he got injured. And in the year he got injured, nobody wanted to step up and be the number 2 guy. And then when he did come back, you saw what happened.
I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to defend 2 people who can drop 20 to 30 points on you, whatever they feel like. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
Look, cool. And I'm not even hating on Jamal Murray. I think he's one of the greatest players in the game today. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the game today, personally. But he'll be the first to tell you.
No, it's Jokic's team.
Number 15 makes me better. I know he'd be the first person to tell.
Oh, I know that, but from a basketball perspective, from my point of view, that there in 27 makes it a lot harder to beat that team.
He does.
Because guess what? Even when the fourth quarter game plan is like, yeah, we're going to start 15, Jamal Murray's like, no, y'all not. Because I'm going to make you have to play me too. So you can't even double Jokic because 27 kicking your butt.
And that does, and look, that does go like into what Shaq would always say about himself and Kobe. You know, you get the 1-2 punch, we're unstoppable. You know, you can't be beat. You know, you got me, you got Kobe, the 1-2 punch, we're good. You know, I mean, so I get that. Murray and Jokic is like a 1-2 punch, and it's hard. It's hard when you have somebody on the inside that can shoot and on the outside that can penetrate. And if both of them are going off, you can't stop that team. But if you can stop one of them, and it's easier to stop Murray than it is Jokic, or contain, I'll put it that way. it's easier to contain Murray because you have to just simply limit Jokic in having him dish to other people.
Now the scary
Because he's
part
going to get
is-
his points. That is how you have to go. But yeah,
Now
when they're both kicking, oh yeah, it's hard to stop them.
Now the scary part is they might be having a third member now.
Well, Porter?
Because I think he's finally reached. I think he finally learned how to reach his potential.
Talking about Porter?
Yes.
About time.
And he's dropping 20 on you. I'm like, oh boy, three of
see,
them dropping 20. Oh, that's a problem.
And then when you have that, as an issue, that's why I'm not even concerned. Like if you would have asked me the question, even now, March the 6th, 2024, and the playoffs is 5 weeks away. If you would have asked me, all right, out of all those teams in the West, who do you think is going to come out the West? I still think it's the Nuggets right now because of what you just said. Because they have the possibility of hitting you right between the eyes with 3 players that can put up at least 20.
I ain't even a clue, Aaron Gordon.
In the same game, right. And I was about to say, in the same game, and you got Gordon, who's the garbage man of the team.
And I ain't even mentioned KCP.
Yeah.
He's good for 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he wants to play, yeah. But, and that's the thing. I have, and Cool will love this episode just for this part right here. I have all the faith in the world because you got number 15. Look, I can't disagree with you at all about Jamal Murray's effectiveness. And if I were to say I do, I'd be lying through my teeth. Because he does make it a whole lot more efficient for Jokic to do what he does. I can't say anything antithetical to that. But number 15, that's a bad man. That's a bad man.
Hey, Karen Perkins is the best big man, or center they ever played the game. So
he's about there. Because to me, I still say it's Olajuwon. I think he's about there now.
Who am I to disagree with Kendrick Perkins?
We're talking about the same guy who thought which one of them Lakers teams was going to go 70-12. Oh, yeah. The Lakers team that had Russell. Oh, see, that's cold. That's cold.
No, go ahead.
We're talking about the same Kendrick Perkins who said that I think this was the 2022 Lakers squad, the one that had Russell Westbrook on it. He said, quote, the Los Angeles Lakers, they gonna go 70-12. Carry on, close quote, and look like an absolute fool only 1 month in the season. That idiot. And look, I know he's a Texan, and I say idiot in a compassionate manner. But come on, man, really?
That loss to the Phoenix Suns snapped Denver Nuggets 8-game winning streak.
Kendrick Perkins.
But they weren't the only team that saw their winning streak.
Why you have to
come to an end?
Kendrick Perkins.
Because speaking of Kendrick Perkins, the team that he used to play for, yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
So, the Boston Celtics, they had a 11-game win streak. They were coming into the land to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers without Donovan Mitchell. And you know what? I can't do it. Sorry, I can't do it.
What? Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Boston. What happened? What happened? You're the best team in the league. You was the first team to 40 wins. Gonna be the first team to 50 wins. And then you had this. Look at this. That says this is 9 minutes for the 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. It was a 93-71 lead. Those of you who are not good at math, that is a Boston lead of 22 points with 9 minutes left in the game. That is a 99.9 chance of victory right there. 99.9. You can't get no closer to the 100 than that. Like, there's no other way to get closer to 100 than that right there. You know, Jason Tatum. He missed the shot. You know, I want to say Porzingis took the ball out of the Cavs' hand, went right back to Tatum. He put the layup. That's how you got the 22-point lead. That's how you got 22-point lead. And then Dean Wade. And no, we're not talking about Dwayne Wade. Dean Wade happened from that point forward. You know what? I'm not doing it. I did it last week with the Clippers. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. But I'm just going to show you this. This is what Dean Wade did this in the fourth quarter. This is fourth quarter. The stats that you see here for D Wade, that's fourth quarter stats. Because he ain't do nothing in the first 3 quarters. Straight fourth quarter. He put up 20 points in the fourth quarter.
Dwayne. I thought you retired, Dwayne.
But guess what? I'm not doing it. Nope. Cole Johnson's gonna go off. Not me.
Dwayne Wade. I didn't know you played for the Cavs now, man. Wow. Well, oh, okay. Look, seriously, I know Wade's retired. So you all in Celticsville thought that this was going to be a cakewalk, right? You come off of a 52-point thumping, burying the Warriors, having them down 45 by the second quarter, and just coasted your way to victory. And you figured, okay, well, we put our foot in on the Cavs' neck in Cleveland. We should have this game wrapped, right? No. See, this is a prime example of not believing in your press clippings. If you want to know why coaches want to beat down the throat of NBA players, NFL players, NHL players, MLB players, even when they have great records, this game is why. Circle it. This is the exact reason why. Because there's going to come a time where the players collectively, maybe not all of them, maybe most of them, but collectively as a unit, there's going to come a time where they're going to massively disappoint you, even with the brilliant record that you do have, because you come with less than an effort all 48 minutes. So there's no excuse for you to be a team, to have another good team in their crib, down 20, and you come on. Not with the talent you got on the squad. I mean, not with Jaylen Brown, not with Kristaps Porzingis. Not with the guy who is clamoring, claiming, and crying that he is the face of the league in Jason Tatum. No. There's no possible way that you could choke away a 21-point lead. But I'll be doggone you did. And yeah, you can be happy with the fact you're 48 up and 13 down, but you now know that you are not impenetrable. You now know that you're not bulletproof, and you now know you get taken to anybody in the NBA. And you can rely on other pieces, like Derek White. You can rely on those types of pieces, like Robert Williams. Fine, do that. But you got to play like a team. And when you have a team down like this, you have to put them away. You can't think you have the game sewn before the clock strikes 4 zeros on it with the fourth quarter. Congratulations, though. I know you've been on a tear. You beat down on the Sixers, and then you tore a new one in the Mavericks behinds, and then you destroyed the Warriors. In fact, you had so many so many Twitter gangsters and Facebook pugilists saying, y'all say that Curry's your man? Well, you all must be busters because Curry's trash. You incited this, but now they get to turn it on you and say you are trash, even though we're talking about a 48-13 team. You're going to be meeting teams like this starting in the conference semifinals and greater. And you can't have these performances because if you put forth 3 more of those in the series, you're gone. Oh, but you already know that, don't you? Because that's what happened to you last year in the conference finals against the Heat, because you took them for granted and you were down 3-0 before you actually decided to play a game. And then you had to feverishly scramble to have a game-winning shot in Game 6 just to have a shot at a Game 7, and you shot your load. Because in Game 7, you couldn't come up with anything. Oh, and then you had the unfinished business year, before Ime Udoka decided to go in the guts of a Boston Celtics exec. And you had a 2-1 series lead in the NBA Finals against the Warriors. And then you all disappeared, and they beat you 3 straight. This unit right here, you're great. You're great, but you got to finish. And unfortunately, you all are having a problem finishing games. Yesterday, another reason why people will not get all the way on board with you and saying the Celtics are a problem. This is a team that nobody can beat. Because with effort like that, they can't help but think that you're going to screw the pooch. They can't help but think that. Heck, I think it. You now have a 7.5 game lead to the closest competitor in the East. And heck, if you throw somebody in the West, that's 5.5. Yet you prove time and again, if people want to say you're the favorites, people could go back to this type of game and say, but the way they played in Cleveland, the way they were in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2023, the way they were in the NBA Finals in 2022. Don't have people say, well, but the way they were ... in this year's playoffs. Because if you keep playing like this, it will turn into that. And you almost did it 1 series earlier. Yeah, you remember when you were down 3-2 and down 6 points to the Sixers? And y'all was shooting like hot garbage before Jason Tatum rescued your season in that 6-minute span? You are supposed to play better than this. Come on now. You're too good to play this bad against a team like this. Because this is you took an opponent too lightly. Don't do that. Don't be like the Clippers. Because when they had their home game and they played against the Lakers last week, and they played in front of their 10 loyal fans and 21,990 Lakers fans, and they had a lead like this, and they decided to blow it to LeBron James, they took them lightly too. And that's what happened to you. You all went to Cleveland. You all were full of yourselves. You double-digit victory against the Sixers, double-digit victory against the Mavericks. 52-point victory, forget double digits, a 52-point victory, and even held the Warriors under 100 points. You all was strutting into Northeastern Ohio like peacocks, and then raced out to a big-time lead, only to choke it away.
In 9 minutes.
That's not No. Mm-mm. This is why people are going to want to say, well, we actually going to probably pick the Bucks or the Heat or the Cavs because we have more faith in them than we do the Celtics in advancing to the NBA Finals. And I'm not saying that you all can't do it. I'm saying you're giving people the reason to doubt that you can. And with the record that you have and the talent that you do have on the team, that should not happen. That games like this should not happen. If you lose, you should get dog walked and say, "Well, we didn't have it. We just didn't have it. So we just have to chalk that up as a dub. We'll chalk that as an L. Lick our wounds. Get back in the practice court. See some film, and we're gonna take it out on the next team." That I understand. 21-point lead in the fourth quarter, and you choke it away. You better than this. You're better than this. Disappointing.
I'm okay. That's why I'm happy he's there because he sounded me. There's no comments coming out of me. That's me. There's no comments coming out of me. I'm never saying no. And I should have known he was going to bring up the Clippers. I should have known.
What? I mean, look, I have to speak to. I had to speak to all 10 of their fans.
He just had to bring up the Clippers.
I mean, they disappointed themselves in front of that rogue crowd of 21,090 Lakers fans.
Disappointing. And I don't think they would use the word disappointed. But just like, anyway, here's the updated standings from the NBA right now. Boston still got like 7 games ahead of everybody. So.
Yeah, they're 7.5 up.
Milwaukee and Cleveland fight for the 2 spot. And look who's at number 4.
I know you're happy. No, happy's not it. I know you're overjoyed because when is the last time the Magic have been
2012? I already know what you're going to say. 2012.
This high, not necessarily in playoff contention, but are able to actually host a first-round playoff series.
The last time the Magic was 10 games above 500 was in 2012.
So that would be the last year of one Dwight Howard. Okay, yeah. as a Magic. Okay.
Yeah. Because the Knicks are sliding because it's playing some data not healthy.
No, that's the reason why.
They just not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So we got them. Miami found themselves out the play-in spot just like us to be in 6th spot. And don't look now. Here come Hemi Butler.
Oh, man.
Here come he coacher.
Well, hopefully they're not doing it too soon. Normally they don't start doing this until April. They don't normally start this run in February. They normally start it in April.
Here they come.
But like I said in Flagrant Foul, there's more people that I believe will have more faith in the Heat to actually advance past whomever than probably I would say any of the 5 teams in front of them.
They did it last year. And
right.
What they like the East? It was the AC.
Yeah, they were the East champs. Yeah, they were the East champs.
They was actually 5 minutes away from actually not even making the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. They actually had to play a second playing game.
It was 5 minutes away from going home.
Mm-hmm. Wrap your brain around that. They had to play a second playing game and was 5 minutes from being bounced in that game. But they went onward to be the Eastern Conference champs.
76ers, they're in the same boat as the New York Knicks. They just not healthy.
Right.
And they taking
And but I think they're going to slide further. That's the messed up part about the Sixers. This team is nowheresville unless Joel Embiid is healthy.
Pacers, they can make some moves.
They're talented.
Matter of fact, the Pacers are the leading scoring team in the NBA.
I'm saying Pacers, they're talented, but I think they need another piece, either another scorer or a big-time defensive stopper. One or the other.
I picked the latter because they be paying no defense.
That's what I'm saying. One or the other. Either they have to be like the Nuggets of the mid to late 80s where they just try to outscore everybody, or they need to have a defensive. I would be the latter too. Or find a defensive stopper that scoring is not even on his mind. It's just rebounding, steals, and blocks.
Because like JJ Redick said today on First Take, and like other countless of NBA players who have tasted either championship or deep playoff runs, the game is going to get slower in the playoffs.
Much slower.
So that 130, 140 that y'all been scoring ain't going to happen in the playoffs.
Yeah, you'll probably see 110, 115 in the first round. And you might see like maybe one of those games each round after that. But yeah, the lanes get clogged up. The palms get sweaty. The backsides get tight. And the pressure does mount. And it gets to most players when you get further and further in the playoffs. And the stuff, like you said, the stuff that they were free-flowing and doing like they're doing now, 2 months later, you won't be seeing that.
Somehow the Bulls are holding on. I don't know how.
Yeah, they're doing it with they're probably doing it with Lonzo Ball's ligaments.
No comment.
What did I say now, Playmaker?
No comment. And then the Hawks are barely breathing.
Wow.
But like I said last week, y'all keep playing around, the Nets gonna catch it. The Nets already beat you twice.
DeJounte Murray, Trae Young. Oh, y'all doing great. And to play in again. Oh, good Lord. And they might not even make it this year to the play.
The Nets already beat you twice after they got destroyed by 50 points again by the Celtics. Can I not have the Nets be the AFC? Because that's not going to be fun to watch.
No, because the Celtics will sweep them again. I don't want to see that.
No, it's true. They're going to beat them by an average of 45 points.
That's what I'm saying. The Celtics will sweep them again. I don't want to see I want to see the Nets get swept by the Celtics again.
At least the first go around, if you have some close games, this go around ain't going to be close. They already beat you by 50 twice.
I mean, besides, I don't want to see TD Garden South for 2 games in Brooklyn. Oh, goodness gracious.
That's the Eastern Conference. Here's the West. Timberwolves are right back in front.
Yeah. Now we get to some competition.
Right behind them is the Oklahoma City Thunder, followed by the defending champs, the aforementioned Los Angeles Clippers. The Pelicans sitting at number 5, and then the Phoenix Suns by going to Denver, Colorado, getting that W. They sit in the 6th spot in the play-in spot. Good Lord. Kings, Mavs, Lakers, Warriors.
Oh, man. I hate the fact the Kings are going the wrong direction. But I had a feeling they would. I hate that.
You did say by the fact that now they put themselves on notice, everybody know what to do now. And yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah, because it's like it's like, look, De'Aaron Fox is a stud and a half. Oh my gosh, I can't stress how much of a fan I am of De'Aaron Fox. You have him. You have Sabonis' son. You have some good pieces there, but when people know what you're about, these teams are gonna come harder at you. They just are, and that's what they have to deal with, and now they have to adjust, and I don't think they've adjusted quite well enough yet. Now they still might make the playoffs, but I don't think they fancied themselves on being on the lower end of the playoff bracket like they are now.
But there's an outside chance of the Jazz sneaking in, and Coach Johnson, Houston Rockets could sneak in.
the Rockets have a better chance of sneaking in than the Jazz, and I don't think the Rockets are sneaking in. Look, the Rockets have good talent now, but they
Keyword is now.
Ime, you got not ready for primetime players on the team, and you know that. And I have no problem saying that. That's my squad. I have no problem saying that. You got a lot of not ready for primetime players. You got some really good players on the squad. Green, jeez. You got some good players on the team, but you got a lot of not ready for primetime players on it. And that's what's up. Now with the Jazz, yeah, they're just missing Rudy Gobert. Oh, I'm sorry, he's not even on the team no more. Oh, you're missing Donovan Mitchell. Oh, he's not even on the team no more. What is y'all going to do?
What about marketing?
Marketing, really? Well, I mean,
I tried.
Good shooter. Good shooter. Yes, good shooter.
I tried.
I'm not gonna hate on him. Good shooter, but really?
I tried, Utah. I tried.
No, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to probably lick our chops and have a Lakers Warriors play-in game 9-10. And the loser of that game gets bounced. That's what it's going to look like. I think it's going to hold because I personally don't think the Kings are going to dip lower than they are. I don't think the Mavericks are going to dip lower than they are. And I just don't see the Lakers nor the Warriors getting on a real hot streak to where they can overtake any of these teams.
And if that's the case, oh Lord, social media going to be on fire no matter which way that game goes.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the hottest. I hate to say this. That would be the hottest ticket April and on. That one game. Oh,
I ain't talking about ticket. I'm talking about social media.
Oh, I know social media is going crazy over the games they've already played. So you know they're going crazy over the game they think they're going to play in mid-April.
LeBron take out Steph Curry or Steph Curry take out LeBron. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it'd be endless nonsense, both directions. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I mean, people are still talking about LeBron got Curry, and that was 10 months ago. 10. That series, that conference semifinal series, was in May, 10 months ago, and they're still saying, "My King got Curry." My King cook Chef Curry. Get out of here.
Oh, hold that thought real quick. Congratulations, LeBron James. You're the first player in the National Basketball Association to have a career of 40,000 points.
And you still caught that.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to dive into the real madness. It is Champs Week for the ladies. We'll be back.
Bron.
The Playmakers blog is sponsored by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, mountains of entertainment. So much to stream. From shows and movies you can only catch here on Paramount Plus, whether it be from CBS, BET, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, and so much more. The new home of Showtime. Watch Showtime original series, movies, and sports when you sign up for Paramount Plus with Showtime. Catch exclusive originals from Paramount Plus such as Star Trek, Strange Wars, The Family Stallones, Halo, and so much more. You also can stream live sports like NFL on CBS, the UEFA Champions League, the Masters, and the SEC on CBS. Paramount Plus, you can stream up to 3 devices when you create an account. So Paramount Plus plan starts at $5.99. If you hit that link below, you can get a free trial. Paramount Plus, mountains of entertainment.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC.
Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime. Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time, But, this game, after everything Manchester United has been, doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly was all of a sudden for real.
I explained this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not one, not two, but 3 countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting Lights Out with Coach Johnson on board.
LeBron.
Speaking to my soccer fans out there, check out Into the Net FC as the women's national team are prepared.
Lord have mercy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, had technical difficulties right there. So you can consider this part 2, which works for me because it is time to spotlight the women's of college basketball.
Playmaker up in here just tearing stuff up.
I ain't tearing nothing up. I ain't gonna try that. All right. So before we dive into the main thing of the college women's college basketball, a couple of news and notes. Right. Indiana star Mackenzie Holmes has a left knee injury, and there is no update as of right now of what it's going to be like for the Big Ten tournament and going forward. She's not the only one, though, because up in Blacksburg, Virginia, it's the same issue with Elizabeth Kentley and the Hokies. No update as of yet going forward, but 2 big injuries to some very big programs going into Champs Week for the women's tournament. And now, here we go. The ACC, as the aforementioned Virginia Tech, is the top seed in the ACC tournament, followed by NC State. Syracuse, who has Syracuse on their bingo board as being a team to look out in women's basketball? And Notre Dame. Now, right now, I do believe, make sure I checked everything correctly. We did have 1 game tip off already, and let me go to it real quickly. We had Boston College takes down Clemson, so they'll be moving on to face Illinois. And right now, we do have Pitt and Georgia Tech battling right now. Cole Johnson, you got the ACC tournament. Who you got? What it looks like for you?
Okay, so why are the other women playing?
It's the conference tournament.
No, I get it. I know this is a conference tournament. I know with the women's game, this is conference tournament week. I know, but seriously, why are the other 13 teams playing?
13. So who is you crowning already?
This is Virginia Tech.
Despite the injury?
Despite the injury. This is Virginia Tech.
Despite the injury, he's still working with Georgia Amon and the Hokies.
Look, I'm this is how I feel. Those ladies have unfinished business. And if they're the competitors that I know they are, I know they feel salty in them. They have a salty taste in their mouths when they actually held a lead in the national semifinal against the eventual champs, and they let that game slip. So I know they're gonna have to punish all of these ACC teams, the 3 that they meet up with, starting with Notre Dame.
No, that'd be the winner of North Carolina and Miami, which I predicted in North Carolina.
And I'm sorry, 1, 2, 4. Three. I don't see any of the other teams having that type of motivation to have them at least come with an effort to say, well, Vitek, this is not your time.
I don't know. North Carolina and Deja Kelly. I don't know.
North Carolina. You lucky that the Holy Ghost has my tongue. Because I almost said an FCC banned airwave word.
And you still got Notre Dame. Notre Dame can get hot.
Look, I know Notre Dame is going to give Virginia Tech a game, and they may see each other again in the NCAA tournament. But I just don't think Notre Dame is going to give Virginia Tech that type of work.
And then there's always NC State, who has been running the darn conference for the past, 3 years.
Lord, the Wolfpack are stepchildren even in the women's game. Man, that's sad. That is absolutely sad.
This man is really taking cheap shots.
What? I'm not taking shit. What? Am I speaking? Let me do CM Punk. Tell me I'm telling lies.
No lies can be found.
Thank you.
That's the ACC. They getting started today, and they'll keep going to, I want to say, the 10th, if I remember correctly. Their championship game will be on the 10th, because it's that time of the year.
Yeah.
From the ACC to the Big 12, with Oklahoma the 1 seed, Texas the 2 seed, Kansas State the 3, and Iowa State the 4. So the Iowa State on the men's and the women's side are balling right now.
Yeah, they are.
Who had that on their bingo card?
Nobody. Let me see.
They will get started on tomorrow with UCF playing Cincinnati, and then Houston playing Texas Tech. Great. So, Cole Johnson.
Sir.
I have to ask this question because I have to be a journalist.
Okay.
Who wins the Big 12? Because the only reason why Oklahoma got the 1 seed is because they beat your girls.
That's what sucks. Thankfully, Oklahoma is not A&M because I would throw up. But it's 3:43 Eastern time, and OU still sucks. But beyond that, look, it'd be easy for me to actually say, well, Oklahoma's the number 1 ranked team, the number 1 seed. They'll go through. I don't think so. I actually believe we're probably going to see those two play again in the championship, and Lady Longhorns going to get to the Lady Sooners. And I really believe that. Now, I will say that the Lady Cougs might throw a wrench in that, but I think this is going to be the Cougs that are going to advance, and they're going to be and they probably end up wrestling a number 1 seed later on. So hopefully, the Lady Longhorns will not steer me wrong. But I did say OU would get to the tournament final.
So you have the Red River Rivalry round 3.
Yes.
I can't disagree with that. I really can't. Because despite losing your best player, Texas is still playing ball.
Yeah, they're still pretty good. Yeah.
And OU.
And I can't hate on OU. I can't hate on them.
I could just say OU just wanted it more at that time.
Just a little bit, yeah.
So, yeah, I can see that. I got Texas. And not because Coach Johnson's on there. It's when you can lose your best player and still be up there, that says a lot.
It does.
So, from the Big 12 to the Big East, and yeah.
Okay, next tournament.
UConn.
Mm-hmm. Next tournament.
Big 10. This is where it really gets fun.
Now, I'm finding some interesting points here.
Well, before you get into that, the number 1 team in the Big 10 is the Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 2, Clayton Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Number 3, the Indiana Hoosiers. And number 4, the Michigan State Spartans. At least somebody from Michigan doing good.
Wow. You ice cold. I like that, though. All right.
Found a lot.
Oh, can't. No lie to be found.
All right, then.
This is my number one question. Who's going to trip up Ohio State before they get to Iowa?
Who's going to trip Iowa before Ohio State? So you already put Ohio State in the championship game.
To me, again, the logic that I have for Virginia Tech is similar one that I have for Iowa. Not only do you have a team and they went further than Virginia Tech last year. Not only do you have a team that was this close to having a national championship, but you have the number 1 player in the game. And the only way I can see Iowa getting tripped up is if Caitlin Clark gets injured. I'm not rooting for it. I'm not praying for it. I'm not saying it could happen. But to answer your question, possibly Indiana. And in the other bracket, to me, I can't see a team. I can't see a team triple Ohio State before they get to Iowa. I can't see it. That's the game that I believe we want to see in the Big 10 championship.
Oh yeah, that's the. By the way, this tournament is sold out. They expecting over 109,000 people for this tournament.
They better. They got the best player in the game, the big money draw in the tournament. They got to sell that thing out.
You know, that 5 seed scares me. That would be Nebraska.
Nebraska. That's what I'm saying. They probably could trip Ohio State up. Maybe. I don't think they will. I hope they don't really. But I don't think they will. And on the other side, I really don't see a team that could trip Iowa up.
Let's see. If I had to pick one, Indiana definitely will top on that list. But if I had to pick another outside of Indiana, probably Wisconsin. You just don't know what you're gonna get from a Wisconsin team.
Yeah, but say if they play like the men do and they slow it down and make the game ugly, yeah. And when I say ugly, I don't necessarily mean brawling. I mean ugly as in it's not 8 seconds and you're chunking up a shot. It's they're taking all of the shot clock all the way down, and they are making it. And then on the defensive end, they are making it really difficult for you to penetrate.
So, but for the consensus, it sounds like Ohio State, Iowa is the juicy matchup.
Yeah.
In Minneapolis. Correction by me, I said Chicago last week. Minnesota. My apologies. All right, from the Big 10 to the Pac-12. Stanford, number 1. USC with Juju Watson, number 2. UCLA, 3. And to me, the most surprising team of all the women's sports, number 40, Oregon State Beavers.
Is it a slam dunk to say Stanford? I'm leaning toward no, but because I want to see if USC or UCLA can give them a fight.
You give Stanford a fight?
Yeah, I want to see if they can. I'm leaning toward no, though.
Now, don't sleep on Colorado. I don't know what's happening in Colorado. Seeing them on the fifth line is kind of surprising to me. Don't sleep on Utah. That's all I'm saying.
The Utes, huh? Okay.
Utes. Don't sleep on Utah. But yeah, if the LA school was to meet again, that should be a fun one because they split. Juju gave them a piece and they got Juju back. And then I remember I said the most surprising team out of all the college basketball was Oregon State, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they coached Stanford before. So there's a rematch going on Friday between Oregon State and Stanford. I might be locked in. They caught him once. That's all I'm saying. And then the SEC. By the way, before I dive into the SEC, thank you to all of the 3.6K people who continue to watch that video from It Was Cold, myself, and Dre Day. When we talked about, are we taking South Carolina on the field? So if you watch that video and you just heard me say this, you already know where we're going with this.
Yeah. The only team that can give them a fight in this tournament is LSU. And they don't really stand a chance. Especially since South Carolina is smelling home cooking in this tournament too. Oh, heck no.
Yeah, Greenville, South Carolina.
And Greenville's not that far from Columbia. No. This tournament, South Carolina's to lose. So to me, it's all about how many teams can get off and play real well before they meet up with South Carolina and impress the bracketology people, so they can go on to the NCAA tournament. That's the only question. That's the only question I have for this tournament. Besides, because you got to have the whole starting lineup come up with injuries for the Gamecocks, for any other team in the SEC to win this tournament.
Oh man, I don't know what to tell you. Just South Carolina all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not hating on any of the other teams in the conference. I'm just looking at a team that they are looking like they are on a mission.
They completed their second straight perfect regular season.
Yeah,
and you know Don State is not satisfied. So
heck no, and that's what I love about her. And she's like, "Don't be impressed by this. Your job ain't done. Let's go."
You did this last year. Still came up short.
Yeah, and you ain't impressed me because a better team last year did this. But you can prove that you're a better team than they were because they didn't come out with a ring. So prove me wrong in saying that you can't come out of a ring and give me a ring. So this team is playing like they're on a mission. And there isn't a threat on this board that makes me say, ooh, man, look out for this team. The closest one is LSU, and I won't be surprised. I'll be impressed if South Carolina beats them by less than double digits.
Just to give y'all an update, Kentucky beat Georgia, so they'll be facing off with Tennessee, and my Gators won. My Lady Gators won, so we'll be seeing Vanderbilt. And no, I'm not thrilled at all, okay?
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, congratulations. No.
So the Lady Gators will play against Lady Vols. I'm
No.
not Lady Vols. I'm sorry. Lady Commodores. Nice.
I'm still not impressed. I'm just waiting till Mrs. O'Neal make her way to campus next year, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the wise. I'll move on to next year.
You've moved on to next year.
I've moved on to next year.
Oh my gosh.
I moved on. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, I just gave you the update. Kentucky beat Georgia. Clemson beat Boston College. Florida beat Missouri. Then later on, right now we have Colorado and Oregon. I have no idea what happened to Colorado, but hopefully they can get past Oregon and get themselves together. Georgia Tech and Pitt already took off. Later on, you have Washington and Cal. Northwestern, shout out to Snowman and Purdue. Wake Forest and Virginia. See, it's stuff like this right here, like Wake Forest. The reason why Cole can't stand conference tournaments. You have a 6-win team,
And they in there.
and they get to still play for the conference.
And they in there.
And a 9-win Northwestern still can fight for the Big Ten conference. An 8-win pick. Only in basketball this stuff happens, and baseball too.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, you have whack seasons, but a tournament can redeem a whole season if you win the conference championship.
It happened to Washington State last year. In the Pac-12, ain't nobody had them going anywhere, and they all of a sudden they stole a bid. Hey, how did they end up getting hot at this moment in time? Like, really? You paid 30 games, you ain't do crap, and all of a sudden you get hot at this moment? Hey. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, it is Champs Week. Of course, got other stuff going on. So it's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a very interesting week here, okay? For the Champs Week. So, ladies, you have done your regular season work. Now it's time to start doing your postseason work. It's time to snatch up some automatic bids. But they ain't the only ones, because you got some of the lower men conferences also fighting for automatic bids and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, with that being said, I want to show y'all this right here. Share the screen. Okay. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we will be keeping track of our tournament champions. Okay, we got you covered. So if you need anything, all you gotta do is come to this page. Every day, starting from the 9th on through, to see who has won conference tournaments and if somebody stole an automatic bid from somebody else, because you know it's gonna happen. As much as me and Coach Johnson have been watching the NCAA tournament, we know somebody gonna steal a bid somewhere.
Just steal a bid.
Like, how in the heck did you? Oh, they won their conference. How did you win your conference tournament? You only won like 15 games. You know it's gonna happen. It never fails.
Mm-hmm.
It never fails. All right, before we get out of here, we got some games to watch on the men's side tonight, 7 p.m. You did speak about South Carolina, right? And you did speak about Tennessee, right?
Yes and yes.
If Tennessee goes into Columbia, South Carolina, and knocks off the South Carolina Gamecocks, guess who wins the SEC?
That would be
The Volunteers. That means the Volunteers would be the 1 seed going into the SEC tournament.
They'd be the what?
The 1 seed.
That's right.
Speaking of the 1 seeds, UConn and Marquette do battle again.
And the winner will probably take the 1 seed in the Big East. Okay.
This is a big one for Marquette. They need some type of showing to let people know that they are still Marquette and not UConn's going to run them out their own building this time.
Well, shout out to Marquette for trying to come back and show that they are relevant again.
Big 12 country, Ames, Iowa, BYU, and Iowa State. That actually might be the highest scoring game of the night. Because BYU can flat out shoot the ball, and somehow I didn't know Iowa State could shoot the ball too until I watched them. So there's gonna be some points on the board between them two. How many? I don't know. That's the men's NBA. The Cleveland Cavaliers coming off that 22 comeback victory over the Boston Celtics. Now they're in the Dirty Bird land and take on the Atlanta Hawks.
Watch them get an L tonight.
You saying Atlanta's gonna win?
I'm not rooting for it, but watch Cleveland be like, we beat the best team we beat the best team, came back from behind and beat them, and then they just lay an egg in the ATL.
Cole, your Rockets are hosting the Clippers.
All right, boys, I want you to beat the brakes off the Clippers, but I already know that's not going to happen because okay, so you got Kawhi, who's going to do his thing. You got Paul George, who's going to do his thing. You got Westbrook, who I believe is the best player all around on that squad. And you have James Harden, who wants to boogie so bad in Houston that he wants to go down to the Richmond Strip and just make it rain and just have moist juice boxes all down the avenue.
I ain't even get to the best part for you. It's on ESPN.
Yeah, so we're gonna see a whole lot of step back travels threes from Harden.
That means you get to watch your team on national television.
Yeah, watch my team get thoroughly waxed and embarrassed.
Thought you'd be excited that Rockets made it on TV.
Oh, I am excited. For the first time in 4 years, they're worthy to be on TV, but they're also worthy of this whooping they're about to get. Look, you know I'm a realist. You knows this.
He has no faith in the Rockets right now.
Zero.
That's the first of ESPN doubleheader, 9 p.m. out in Salt Lake City. The Chicago Bulls traveling to Salt Lake City to take on the Utah Jazz. Both of them need a win, so yeah. Who doesn't want to suck more is the question.
That's a real good question. Again, congratulations to the Bulls. They're putting their season together, and they're wrapping it up in Lonzo Ball ligaments. I'm so proud of you guys.
He just can't get over Lonzo Ball. He's not even there.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the spirit of Lonzo Ball, because he wants to be injured, I mean, he's helping the team out.
This second of the doubleheader on ESPN takes us to Chase Center in San Francisco, where it's the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Warriors. Dame Dollar and Giannis versus Steph Curry, Clay, and Draymond.
Well, since we don't have to worry about Clay and Draymond, let's hope that Steph can come back, and unfortunately, he might have to score 50.
And then to close out today's showcasing from the Bay Area to the City of Angels, where LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and the Lakers are hosting the Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings.
Memo to all of you bronzesexuals. Let's get this straight. LeBron's 39. Yes, we haven't seen things from him that a 39-year-old like him can do from any other 39-year-old. Because we haven't seen a 39-year-old put up 40,000 points in the career. So, yes, that's something that he's done that another 39-year-old in the NBA has never done. But let's get this understood, too. Father Time's whooping his behind. And I'm going to be thoroughly glad when he is retired. Then you can shut your doggone mouths about this guy.
They say ain't gonna happen.
And then I'm hoping they raise up somebody like Zion Williamson saying he's the next big thing. Somebody comes around and he's the next big thing, and have the next generation just prop him up and make him a golden calf statue that you did LeBron as soon as he burped out Similac and got on an NBA court.
So those are your games to watch tonight.
And De'Aaron, take care of these guys, please.
It is Champs Week, so what you're seeing here are the conferences that will be crowning champions this weekend, March 9th and March 10th for the men. You have the Ohio Valley, the Atlanta Sun, the Big South, and the Missouri Valley for the women. The Ohio Valley, the A10, the ACC, the Big South, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, the SEC, and the Southern.
Man, there's a whole lot of tournament championships playing on Sunday in the women's. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep.
I figured they're going to be some on Saturday, but I didn't know almost all of them was going to be on Sunday. Jeez.
Yep. It's a field day of basketball, ladies and gentlemen. So, as we prepare to a bit of deal, Coach Johnson, final words.
Well, I will say this in all honesty. I thank you, Playmaker. Thank you for giving me the platform. I appreciate it. I love shooting lights out, and I love Playmaker. That's my brother. And I enjoy having this platform, so thank you once again. When it comes to the men's college game, may the best team win. I mean, I think we're looking at a time where the one shining moment can just simply be some team getting lucky. Oh, yeah, like last year with UConn, because we didn't think UConn was going to do jack. They find their way into the tournament, and they beat everybody by double digits and en route to the national championship. So the men's college game made the best team win because there isn't one team you could say they are the favorites. The women's game, I'm so sorry for all the other women's teams. You all just simply do not stand a chance. You all have to pray. That South Carolina gets food poisoning. That's the only way that you all will stand a chance of even coming close to a victory against this team, because there isn't one alive that's playing like a unit like they are. I will go so far as to say there isn't a team even on the men's side that's playing like a unit the way the South Carolina Lady Gamecocks are. And now here we are in the tournament. The tournament is in their backyard, so they're gonna just sweep through that, and then they're gonna go into the tournament and probably sweep through that too. And when they get to the Final Four, they'll be like, "Yeah, we've been here, but we got two big business meetings to take place on this court. Take care of their business, and then they'll hoist their championship." I just feel for the women's side of the women's game, because it's South Carolina's party and everybody else is invited to it. Although the biggest attraction in the game, Caitlin Clark, you probably see them in the conference. I'm probably see them in the national championship, and might have the same fate happen to you there as you did last year against LSU. And for the National Basketball Association, Clippers, come on now, it's March. You're not supposed to collapse until May. You're 2 months early. You're supposed to show that you're the best team in the league. You're supposed to actually show us the ability that you can climb into prosperity and coast. Like Lube Fiasco and Kick Push and coast. That's what you're supposed to do. That's where you're supposed to be. That's the lane you're supposed to drive down. You're supposed to coast. This is March. Not May, not April, March. You're supposed to coast. You're supposed to be able to beat teams and beat them down. Come on now. Prove me right. Prove me right that you are thugs in the regular season and you suck in May. Please prove me right, because it's time that you do. Now, for the rest of the Western Conference, the top tier, I'm glad that we're seeing young teams actually standing a chance. The Thunder, you all are doing your thing. SGA, keep doing it, bro. I know that people are probably going to say Jason Tatum is going to win the MVP or at least be the front runner for it, but show them that you can boogie, because I'm loving the fact that you're leading this team to heights that they haven't seen since you had the triumvirate of Harden, Westbrook, and Durant there. So do your thing, man. Do your thing. And Timberwolves, man, I'm so glad that Anthony Edwards is being a beast on that team. It's about time the cat understood that his game was like a cat and the dog had to lead him. So I'm glad that he submitted that, and now the dog is leading him. So Anthony Edwards, take this team further, because they are not meant to be just play-ins. Y'all meant to dominate the league. So go ahead and do it, man. And as for the Nuggets, you're the class of the you're the class of the league. There isn't another team in the NBA that is as experienced as you, that plays more cohesive of a team in team concept like you. So continue onward. Don't sleepwalk. Continue onward. And if you feel as though you need the challenge of being the number 1 seed in the West, take it. You can win anywhere, but understand that you could be gotten anywhere too. And I think this L that you took at home to the Suns is proof. Now, to the 2 teams that everybody really wants to be in the playoffs, but they have to meet in the play-in, the Lakers and the Warriors. My hope is that you eliminate one, and then whoever remains in the 7-8 game, you travel to that place, and they beat you down, so that we can have the Warriors and the Lakers not make the playoffs. That will be a great early birthday present for me. Oh, I would love it. Oh, I would love it. I would have a grin this wide. Oh, it will bring me such joy. And then you Twitter thugs and your Facebook gangsters, you could say, my king, and the chef cooked, and you both could shut up. That would be beautiful. Man, I love it. Oh, you can find me at flowcode.com/page/host Cole Johnson. You could also find me at youtube.com/@Comey Media Inc. That's COMI Media Inc. And there is projects in the works. And I'm going to be actually helming a show really, really soon. And I won't divulge the contents of it just yet, but you will definitely know, because Playmaker will know, simply because Playmaker will be part of this project that I'm going to unveil. So be on the lookout for it. Hopefully it will be sometime in the spring when we get ready to do this. It's going to be big. And I look forward to all of you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the love. And thank you for all of the views of the South Carolina on the Field video. You guys are awesome. Thank you, guys. And Playmaker, thank you, man.
No problem. Even though he just dropped a bombshell on me that I had no money to.
Did I do that?
Yes, you did.
Good.
Didn't expect that, even though he owed me something else, but
You go get that something else. Be quiet.
I've been waiting since
Oh,
I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that.
just like a brother, man. Okay.
But no final thoughts from me today. Enjoy basketball, man. Like I always say, it's that time of year, so madness is on the horizon. For Cole Johnson, I am the playmaker. And depending how I feel, I think I might be seeing y'all Friday.
Uh-oh.
Who knows? Until then, have a good one.
Peace.
Good. You've done great. But you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the floor. Cause that's the only way to go. Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow it on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a whole lot more. This has been Shooting the Lights Out.
Masterpiece.